I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. How you doing? Yeah, I know, it sucks. It sucks to be locked in your house. Have you realized that you're a hoarder yet? Or are you just glad that you don't have to have Easter dinner with the relatives? Hey, look at me giving you an upside, huh? I'm a glass half full guy. But if you're worried and scared that this virus is one of the worst we have ever seen in 100 years, you're not overreacting. In fact, you're kind of smart. But if you are still going out to eat, then heading to the beach because of the deep state fake news hoax makers are trying to take down Emperor Trump, and then after that, America, I'm going to Applebee's, then all I got to say to you is,
I see dead people.
Hi, Florida. Be clear. Trump sells fear. That's how every dictator throughout history has done it. I mean, Hitler, Mussolini, Harvey Weinstein, and they always use fear. Currently, our bulbous, big-ass, botulism-brained leader,
Really anonymous,
has gotten everywhere by using fear. Because dumb people are easy to scare. I mean, throughout history. I mean, they've told you for years, there's a man in the sky that's going to send you to the burning place. Fear. Now, personally, I prefer the New Testament, where it's Jesus loves you and has forgiven you, so stop being a jerk. Do your best. There you go. That's so much easier. So to you pastors telling your people, come to church, this is nothing.
I execute judgment on you, COVID-19.
I would like to remind you about something called Passover, where God himself told everyone to stay the hell inside so they didn't die. I'd call you pastors that are letting your flock tools of Satan, but instead I'm going to stop short and, out of respect, just call you tools. All right, so let's deal with the ways our illiterate, ill-equipped, inane, incompetent, ignoramus president has made you afraid. Are you ready?
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
He said Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers. First speech. Fear the brown people. Only I, the fat orange golfer, can protect you. Just want to point out that no race that invented tacos is evil. He told you that Muslims are terrorists.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Even the ones that saved American military lives, and they saved those lives because they were in the American military. And he really hates brown people. He said that Africans live in shithole countries, implying that anybody from those countries would bring pestilence and disease to America. So you'd think that he would have thought about it and reacted and stopped the pestilence and disease that he led into America. As a matter of fact, you guys didn't know this, but he's the one who sent the first plane to pick up the people and brought all the patient zeros back when the CDC told him not to. And oh yeah, the CDC, that's part of the deep state that he told you to be afraid of. You know what? The weird thing is, after all these years, we can't name the deep state or even know what that is. It's just a weird, giant, unprovable fear bubble that the stupid hold on to like a kid carrying around a birthday balloon. He's also scared the stupid about the agencies that protect America. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, Treadstone. I know that's not real. I just keep waiting for Trump to ask Jason Bourne to resign. And these agencies prove Russia was working for Trump, which you should be afraid of. You do get that, right? The Russians wanted Trump to be president. That should scare the hell out of you. But instead, he made you fear the agencies that took an oath to protect you. He made you fear the economy was going to crash unless he was president. How did that work out for everybody? He didn't make you fear the disease that has killed more Americans in the Iraq War. No, he made you fear the doctors and the scientists. He made you believe that his hunches were right, and he made you fear facts. Do you guys get this? He made you trust dictators. He made you fear patriots. That's what he does every day. You now trust liars and sycophants, and you morons fear honest people who've served this nation for years. Here's a few. Let me tell you something, guys. You can translate Trump very easily. I'm going to break it down. If he tells you not to worry, panic. If he tells you to trust this dude, buy a gun. If he tells you to be afraid, it's because he is, and he needs you, his followers, to take the bullet for him. To be clear, this is a man who thinks 100,000 to 200,000 Americans dying under his watch is him doing a good job. You know, I've never before in my life wished that America had a South Korean president. I bet we could get him elected in Alabama. Yeah, I know he's Korean, but at least he's Southern Korean, and that's good enough for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Welcome to, what is it, week 3 or week 4 of the pandemic. With me, as always, the lovely, beautiful, with a shirt that makes her eyes pop like I've never seen, Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
Also with me, there can be only one, and there is only one, the Highlander.
There can be only one.
See, I like it a little
there
tough.
You go.
I like
that
it
was
a little tough. I have a mic condom over my mic condom right now. So I hope you guys are all staying safe, staying inside. If you are going out, we have some new information. So for a couple weeks now, they've been saying, hey, by the way, don't wear masks. You don't need it. You don't need them. I will say this.
I don't need them.
I'll get to this. Stop. I'll get to it. Bombshell on the hand said, hold on, wait a minute. All the healthcare professionals have to wear masks, but we don't have to. Something's not right. And so basically today they came out and they said, yeah, you guys should all probably wear masks.
And that Italy is not just Italy.
Spain?
All of Europe pretty much, and a lot of Asia, they are all wearing masks because it's mandatory. Yeah. And then our mayor came out today of Los Angeles and said we have to wear masks if we go out in public. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted a little bit of congratulations.
So here's my new,
a bit of leadership. Yeah.
So let me explain my little thing now. So when I get a wipe, every orifice is dealt with. Let me finish.
Everything's sizzling.
Not on the end, just a little bit.
We don't need.
I'm getting rid of that corona, man. And then a little bit on the lips.
Oh, out of your nose?
No, I flipped it.
You cross-contaminated.
I always flipped it. No, I flipped it. I flipped it to another side. And then I go, so I'm not.
And then you wipe your hands.
I'm not gonna do the rest of my orifices, but
not right here.
You're not gonna get coronavirus, but you're also not gonna get laid.
Well, I may be because I'm doing all my orifices, and this is actually slowly giving me an anal bleaching, and I think I look sexy.
How do you know?
Because I have a mirror. Have you heard of mirrors? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they tell all young girls to use a mirror, and that's just nobody.
I look younger. Yeah, it looks like an alien has attacked your body.
Don't want to hear it. Don't want any. I don't want you to euphemisms. Nothing. Analogies. Nothing.
I'd like to thank Bombshell for the inspiration for the Armageddon update this week. We were driving home from the cabin yesterday, and she said, she just says, it's all fear. This entire thing is fear-based. His entire presidency is 100% fear-based, and we had like an hour-long conversation about it. And if you think about it, from his first sentence when he came down the escalator, first sentence was, we're building a wall to keep the immigrants out. They're murderers, they're thieves, they're rapists, they're sending their drugs, and some of them are good people, I assume. Yeah. Which is like the shittiest toss.
That's dictator playbook, just like.
But my whole point in bringing this up was that I was talking about how polarized we are now, and people are just letting it be that. And I'm thinking that we're not going to make any progress or solve anything if we don't stop being so polarized. Right. And my whole point to him was that there are the redneck, meth addict, Trump supporters, that's the stereotype. But there are educated,
there's a meth addict Bernie supporters too. So
intelligent people who are trying to do right and by their kids and their family that also support him. And so I was trying to make the case for those people, trying to think, what is it that those people are thinking? And that's when I came to, I think that it's been so fear driven that people respond to that.
That's a good point. And here's where I can say the media is responsible for some of this. By the way, there's no fake news. We watch a lot of different news stations.
There is fake news. It's called Tiger King.
Yeah,
and
Tiger King.
Nobody should be subjected to that.
Don't watch Tiger King. You can't watch it.
I watched it with you. What do you mean?
We
I
watched
can't
every
watch
episode,
it?
but at one
You
point,
made
but at
me.
the end, I know, but you made me. You said Tiger King is good.
Social distance. Back your finger up.
Okay, fine.
I didn't make you.
I have to be honest, man. Tiger King. I have to be honest. At one point, we were watching it, and we got to the last 3 episodes, and we finish it, and then the Netflix would do that thing where it goes next episode, and I was going.
He actually went, oh my God, there can't be another
I
episode.
don't want another episode.
You know, I started watching it, and then I saw your tweet about how it left a turd in your brain, and I'm like, I think I need to back
It
off
did.
of this.
Left a turd in my
works.
brain 100%, man.
It doesn't get any better, but we did just find out today that Joe Exotic tested positive for coronavirus.
Joe Exotic tested. You know
he
why?
did.
Because he wants another season. That's why the son of a bitch wants. And by the way, honestly, filming him intubated on a ventilator in a coma would be way more entertaining and less soul crushing than the show was. I honestly, there was no. Here's the thing about Tiger King: there was not one good person. The woman who's supposed to be the good guy, they can't figure out how her husband died.
Yeah.
So and then at one point she was talking about Joe Exotic planning to kill somebody. She goes, I wouldn't have killed him like that. I'd have planned it like this. And I looked around and I go, she just basically told us how she killed her husband. She goes, you use ketamine, right?
Yes.
Ketamine, horse tranquilizers, and he just dies from everything goes paralyzed. Hold on. She just tossed it off, dude, and no one asked her. She just out of the blue goes, he's going to start to kill me or whatever. That I wouldn't have done it that way. I didn't know. What? Okay, OJ.
Wow.
Why don't you write a book?
I was just so confused about how it was made. So he recorded himself all day, every day?
While he was
you
being-
haven't seen the whole thing.
No, he didn't. He have like he
crew.
started his like little channel,
yeah, but
or
there was a fire that he was suspected of starting in the middle.
Oh, I didn't get to
Sorry,
that part.
spoiler
Okay.
alert.
So there was a
spoiler
couple
alert.
of things. So he had his own internet channel. So he has his own internet channel. He had all those tigers, and he was using that to get people to come to the thing.
Right.
And he filmed the thing. Well, then that woman started her thing, which her whole thing was animal rescue. Don't treat these
It
guys.
looked like the same thing.
Didn't it look like the
Yeah.
same
That's
thing?
what I thought. I'm like,
Different
wait, she's doing the same thing.
Different packaging.
Yeah.
That's it. You just packaged it different. So what happened is that he had all that footage, but the guy who was doing the reality show had stored all his footage in this building they had, and that building got burned up. And the dude said in the thing, he goes, I had everything on this guy. He goes, I had everything. And it's all gone. I didn't back it up. Well, you didn't have everything then, did you, dumbass? You didn't back it up. Being a production facility, we double and triple everything.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then we put 2 of them away.
Right.
We have an entire other version of Ray's show hidden somewhere.
Right.
In case
in a
we
vault.
lose it.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So anyway, he was stupid. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's the worst show I've ever seen. It really made me. Imagine the worst reality show you've ever seen times that exponentially, and that's Tiger King. I can't. And we were so
It
far.
made the Real Housewives look like a Bible parable. It was.
It did.
So
it was
I would
like the
to say,
Crucible. It was like
I looked up just now because I told you that was not his voice singing. It wasn't. I was
It
right.
wasn't.
I should have put money, but you don't pay bets anyway. Where are my face masks, by the way? Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed because that was the one thing I'm like, oh well,
That's what I thought
There's
too.
something going on up there that
It
works.
was actually, it's like a Milli Vanilli situation. It was actually Vince Johnson and Danny Clinton. You could tell. He talked like this. And then his
then he was like,
You're like, no, it's not. It can't
So
be.
it's even wait. You've made it worse. I already hated it more than any show I've ever watched, and you made me hate it. Like there's nothing that's gonna beat.
There's no redeeming
at all.
qualities. Also, the dude, John Reinke, that lost his legs, and he said ziplining. What it actually was, I know you don't want to talk about it, but this is fascinating. He actually was on a bungee jump, fell 55 feet to the ground, crushed his legs, didn't just land on the earth, fell onto a 6-inch metal stake that pierced his colon and stomach.
ah, what? That's some targeting.
I kind of
Right
like
in the
that
colon.
guy. I thought that guy was...
Wait a second.
So
Right?
So I don't. The show did not make me believe in God, but it definitely made me believe in Satan because everybody on the show was
Yeah.
possessed in some way with a demon. From the girl who lost the arm to the tiger and kept working there.
I can't, like... How many episodes? Already my biggest fear ever. And then it's staring me right in the face for how many episodes? And just moisturize it. That's all. Every
Right.
episode I would scream, like, just
So-
moisturize it.
Right.
Cetaphil, like, just...
I laughed so hard because every time they interviewed this girl who seemed honestly to be
Saf.
the only calm Like she had
Cool.
she had a weird insight into people. Like, well, that guy was this, and this guy Joe didn't notice it, but that's what this guy did.
Right.
And you can go to Costco and you can get the right size. And so the tiger had bitten her arm off. All that was left was like it was right here, right?
Spoiler alert.
The tiger bit her arm, and she kept working there. Here's the thing. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I had a cooker blow up on me one day. I quit the next week.
Right.
I'm not hanging. If you work at a gas station, you get set on fire because one of the pumps went crazy.
You're out.
I'll see you Thursday, Phil.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
When I stub my toe over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute.
So her arm was cut up here, and so I had a little stump on it, and I was like, they make a Cetaphil. You could just, and you can
Yeah.
but she every time moisturize
It's so easy.
your stump. Nothing worse than an ashy stump.
There's a word for that, I think. Isn't there another word for that? No.
It sounds like a weird sexual position.
What's
What
the
happened?
other
You do the old dirty Sanchez? Nope, did the ashy stump. Oh, good.
That doesn't
Lotion.
even sound good.
No.
Stop saying that word. Oh, that's what he's
What'd he say?
doing. The L word for moisturizing product.
Lube?
No, that's also not good. But that one's
what was
worse.
your
He
thing?
knows I don't
Oh,
like this word.
What was it? Oh, lotion. Lotion,
No,
lube,
don't say.
moist panties. Those two together
Tigers.
are worse.
Now-
Those two are worse together.
This is a list of all of my least favorite
Yeah,
words.
she just goes, hey. Ashy stump is added, though.
No, I don't mind that. Actually, it sounds colloquial. It's cute.
It sounds like a
It's
place.
a good
Sounds like a
rock
place.
band.
Oh, I went to Ashy Stump
Ashy
this
Stump,
weekend.
like they're like a little like less aggressive than Oasis, but they
Ashy
rock a little harder than Tom Jones.
They're actually an Oasis cover band.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, there you go.
I thought Pandemic would be a great name for a hard rock metal band right now.
Oh, definitely.
Just a big. You could just see Pandemic written in that really weird Victorian writing.
Or Gothic.
What did I say?
Yep.
Victorian Gothic.
How you doing?
I feel dumber now. Sometimes you point out how dumb and uneducated I really am.
Oh no, you're really intelligent. How are you feeling?
But I'm uneducated.
I would argue differently. I would say that given what you've done in your life, you have
I've learned.
a lot of on-the-job, real-life education and experience that most people never get a chance to have.
Yeah, you hear that, UCLA? I'm coming in to go to college, and I want life experience credit. Go ahead.
You can't threaten everyone.
No, I'm threatening you.
Get an honorary degree.
By the way, that's a T-shirt. You can't threaten everyone.
Except you don't believe that.
Yeah.
He would call UCLA and be like, okay, I've got 138,000 Twitter followers. If you don't make this happen, right now I'm going on Twitter. Like Time Warner, DirecTV, AT&T, they've all heard this. Who
here's
else?
the thing.
Tesla.
So here's the thing. I don't threaten. Here's what I do. I do this. I let them know, and then I start cranking out jokes based on what happened.
They're not jokes. They're little
some of them are really funny.
Snippets of
They're very
sadness.
funny.
So these are things that are like justifiably. Come on, customer service, like that kind of thing.
Screwed up. AT&T came in one day. One day we wanted to get our internet changed from cable to a Uverse.
Yeah,
they came in one day. The guy came over for an hour and a half. Destroyed our internet, killed our cable, nothing worked. The alarm in the house went dead. We had no more alarm. The doorbell wouldn't work. Whatever the guy did, he must be setting us up. Must have thought we had like some really expensive art, and it was going to come back and was working on the system like one of those Ocean's 11 movies, because everything fucking died in the house. Yeah. So I called AT&T and they said, "Well, he'll be out there in 3 weeks." And I said, "Here's what's going to happen next." I said, I don't have 1 million followers. I have just enough to be funny about it. So I did a whole series after they said they couldn't get out there called Hitler or AT&T, and I just wrote something Hitler did, then AT&T, and I did like 25 of those. Next thing I know, Mr. Christopher Titus, please DM us, please follow us and DM us.
So it worked.
I DM'd
okay.
them, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to send a guy out tomorrow. We're so sorry. We're going to refund." And we had a problem with Tesla. I did the same thing with Tesla, to where we were at the Tesla thing, and Tesla was telling me to basically fuck off. And I love Tesla, by the way. Elon Musk, by the way, just so you know, this is over. We're good now. Elon Musk actually imported 1,500 ventilators and gave them to hospitals for free. That's who that dude is.
He's also making them.
They're inventing new ones,
in
yes.
Fremont, right?
They're trying to. They got told they were essential, and they weren't. Now they are. Now they're not. And they've had 10 people or 2 people that have come down with coronavirus.
We actually, so like I said, our mayor just said that you have to wear masks now, and so I just want to throw that out there as a PSA. Put something over your face.
Guys, get a cool bandana. You know, I like a mask. I want a yellow one.
You don't want to get
a...
shot in a gang fight. Like, just
no. I want a yellow one with a smiley. That with a have a stay face. I want to have a stay face. That's what I want. I want some
unrelated news. A young couple was shot in a gang shootout. What?
But they had masks on.
Red.
Her favorite color was red. Yeah, her color was red.
Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy and Bryce. Cindy and Bryce were shot by the
very law-abiding citizens
by the Crips
at Whole Foods.
They were mistaken for Bloods at Whole Foods. All right, so pick a decent mask that doesn't cross a gang affiliation line. There you go.
There you go.
That's just a public service.
A neutral one.
So let's talk about fear, because what's bothering me about this is that when you nailed it, and it's funny because we've forgotten it. You know it at a deep level, but when you go back to the beginning of his presidency and you start it, you realize there's been no upside. He's never given an inspired speech. Even his inaugural address was like, it was something like the remember what there was one phrase that I was like, Jesus Christ, this sounds like something that like a villain gives in a Superman movie.
Yeah.
He has never done anything positive. He's never said anything positive. And I realized that here's the problem why it works. A lot of dumb people think anger is power. No, a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them, but anger is power. Anger is power. A lot of
keep your pointer 6 feet away. First of all,
sorry.
Your pointer is waggling all up in my space.
My pointer has waggled in her space before. My pointer. Like to go to the board.
What does the board say? What else does the board have on it? Go ahead.
Survey says
Viagra is expensive, but needed. So
no, you wouldn't know that.
No, I'm talking about my dad.
Oh,
that was 4 heart attacks. So his heart wasn't working very well, and I love that the man had 4 or 5 heart attacks. Still, this is how important sex is to people and to men. Still had to have Viagra. That's crazy.
And
my dad. Oh, there's the special that's coming out this week. Actually, the comedy special that's coming out this week.
Are you guys putting that one up this week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Angry Pursuit of Happiness.
My dad's ED problem. The only way you get Viagra at the time was in a syringe, and you didn't shoot it into your arm. You had to shoot it into your.
It's crazy.
So that's how much.
That's how much
sex.
men want to.
And that's the difference between men and women. And I don't even have to give the other side. Right. You already know what I mean. Like not a chance in hell. No.
By the way, here's the deal.
That's how Golden Girls happened. By the way, they were offered. They were offered that. You know, you guys can do this too.
You guys can hang out with a bunch of old ladies forever, or you can take this needle and shoot a drug into your clitoris.
Slam.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. We're good. We're good. I'm hanging out with Ruth.
Golden Girls, by the way, is every girl's, like, that's where we all plan on ending up. When I went on that girls trip that I ruined with my friends, that's what, I actually have a video of us all singing the theme song to Golden Girls because we all know it and we all have a pact.
Wait, how does it go?
Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Travel down the road and back again. No.
What's the...
Your heart is true.
You're a friend and a confidant.
No syringe in your clitoris.
Exactly.
2020.
The remix. The mashup.
So my dad actually shot a needle into his penis to have sex.
You're right. That's how bad.
No.
But here's the shot a needle in his penis to have sex. Like
right.
I don't. There's no.
Here's my question.
Sex is not needling penis. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
Tagging out.
Yeah.
Actually, here's my first question.
Oh no.
Let's go to the board.
Oh no.
Let's go to the board.
Do you have the same feeling and arrival? Because when you inject
I will say this,
it stays that way for a really long time.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
They said anything over 4 hours, you should go call a doctor.
Yeah, right. How often have you 4
hours?
Let's go to the board.
He's counting. Are you
Half
counting?
time.
1/7 of a time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
by the way, can I add times together?
if we have any older
Maybe my entire life, it has been 4
listeners.
hours. Maybe
Yeah,
I add-
once,
From
right.
the time I was a teenager till now, 4 hours
The
total.
cumulative
Exactly.
4 hours.
Cumulative
Yeah.
4 hours. And I'm a grown-ass man now. So, it's, yeah.
So if we do have any older listeners when this was still a thing, was this the 90s?
No, this was, 96 through 90, to 2000. No, maybe it was a little earlier, 95, 96, yeah.
So that you could have just said yeah.
No, I just figured it out because I figured it was a while ago. I'd figured it out.
Anyone that did this, please tell us. I just want to know, like, is it?
Well, the thing is that he hit.
Does
a
it conclude?
He hit a vein. The whole story was. The whole story was. If you guys, by the way, we're also putting. I have the box set of Titus. We're just putting them up throughout this.
Is
thing.
that one a day? How are
One
we
a day?
doing this?
So, yeah, one a day.
Well, we figured there's 54 episodes. We figured one a day.
Oh, that might get us through.
That'll maybe get us through
Yeah,
this.
I should go
half the
watch
way
them.
through the quarantine.
No,
we'll be all
we
set.
did fucking better not
'Cause I
last
haven't
4
seen
months.
them all.
2 months. It better not last us this long. They're fun to watch. I watched Dad is Dead the other day, and we put up Dad is Dead. But also, we're going to put Angry Pursuit of Happiness. And you'll
You
hear the whole
should
story.
Zoom with Zach
Yeah.
and put that in the front of some of them. You could Zoom with some of the different people.
We could actually do
Yeah.
a version. We should take one episode. I should ask Zach for. Here's what I'll do. Here's an idea. I'll ask Zach, and we'll basically Zoom his favorite episode. Then I'll call Cynthia, see if Cynthia will do it. Then I'll call Stacy and see if Stacy will do it.
Yep.
And then if we could do like one where we just sit here and we just play the episode.
Yeah.
And we talk about it.
Yeah,
We
that'd
watch
be
it.
great.
That'd be kind
Yeah,
of awesome.
that'd be
Do
really fun.
you know what happened to the child actors of Zach and Titus? You had a couple, didn't
I do not. But
Someone asked about
But I have
this.
not seen him on the internet clickbait thing where they go, "What happened to this
Oh, yeah.
actor?" So
Macaulay Culkin.
It's good. It's good news.
Yeah.
It's good news that I haven't seen that. He killed 4 people and is in prison. I haven't seen that. So we didn't totally ruin those kids' childhoods. Back to fear though. So.
No.
I want to kind of
It's
go
the
back with
worst
this guy.
segue ever.
I want to kind of point out to people that what they've fallen for. And I agree with you. To all you people out there that follow Trump or voted for him, I don't know why you're on this site, but if you know anything I've done or how I stand. But if you are, because right now you're in a place where you're like, this doesn't seem right, you're right. It doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. Notice that it's all fear-based, that everything the man has done, everything, fear-based, and it not my fault. Today, he came out on his briefing, and this is today is Thursday, his Thursday briefing, April 2nd. He came out and he goes, New York didn't get busy fast enough. They didn't react fast enough.
Oh, he's good at blaming. Oh,
It's
boy.
He said a lot of states didn't react fast enough, and that's why they're having the problems they're having now. Now, that's not a leader. That's a dude. That's that middle manager that runs the company and
Right, and points as a finger pointer.
Right.
Yeah,
and when the fucking the plant explodes, he's the guy that goes, "I wasn't even here.
Right.
I wasn't here, motherfucker. You ran shit here.
Right.
You didn't.
Didn't he, back when Obama was in office, say that,
Blamed
whatever happens,
Obama should be taken out. He should be.
It's the president's
president's,
president's
he needs to take ownership of it.
Yep.
And good leaders
We
will do
should
that.
find those tweets. Anybody out there, by
Yeah.
the way, who does this? Because there's a tweet for everything. Find the ones where he blamed Obama for everything. Let's just put a list of them down. Because this dude, he's such a scumbag. It's crazy to watch. Dr. Fauci's not on the briefings as much anymore because Dr. Fauci came against him. And today they did something horrific. Would you bring that up about that the ship captain from the aircraft carrier?
Oh, yeah.
We had a military a captain of a ship, aircraft carrier. I'm not sure which one it is. Ray's going to pull it up right now. But basically, he wrote a 4-page letter saying that they needed help. He said, we need help. We've got 100 sailors with coronavirus. They're living, it's 4,000 dudes, and they showed the inside that we were watching the news yesterday, and they showed the inside of the ship, and it's literally, she just goes, sees the pictures inside of the aircraft carrier, and she goes, oh no. Because she hates small spaces anyway, but imagine 4,000 dudes, 100 of them have coronavirus. That entire ship,
that's a
at
petri
a
dish.
4% kill rate, that's 4% kill rate? Holy shit. That's how many guys dead? Math is hard.
What's 4% of 100?
160 dead. It's 160 dead sailors.
Wait, what?
4,000, 1% of 4,000 is 40, right?
Okay.
40 times 4, which would be 4%.
Let him
would
get
be
there.
160.
Good.
I got it. I did it in my head. I don't need to explain to you guys my math.
I do want you to show your work.
Show your work.
I hate her.
Can you,
Well, everybody's being homeschooled these days.
Mutual.
I want you to show your work. Do you know how many times? By the way, that
I don't
phrase,
know if you've been slipped the answer. I don't know.
That phrase is one of my nemesis from life. It's like I had so many teachers. F. Well, yeah, they're all the right answers. I would need you to show you work. Ah!
What states border Maine?
Oh, here we go.
Greenland.
No. Okay. All right. I'll pass.
New York? No.
That's what happened to you. Pass. They just didn't want to deal
Massachusetts?
with you anymore.
Massachusetts?
I just keep guessing.
Nevada?
Okay, well, we're
It's up there.
Close.
Colorado. So yeah, this I didn't realize this because this happened when I was driving here, and it really makes me angry.
It makes me furious.
Being the daughter of a military officer, the commander of the aircraft carrier that was hit by coronavirus has been removed for, quote, poor judgment after sounding the alarm and asking for help.
So the dude got fired specifically for protecting his sailors.
Yes,
The
he
dude
actually put out a message and said, "We're not at war. Soldiers should not have to die." Let's see, he wrote a memo warning Navy leadership that decisive action was needed to save the lives of the ship's crew. They've announced today that he's been removed. Captain Brett Crozier of the USS Theodore Roosevelt. That's right.
So this guy was the captain of the Roosevelt, an aircraft carrier. Do you know the level of competent you have to be in your career in the military to be?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
So this guy's probably one of the most competent people in the military.
On what grounds? Like, what are they claiming that he?
judgment.
Poor judgment. He should, because he sounded the alarm. He shouldn't have said
But
anything.
wait a second.
But that's
So-
everybody. That's
Quote,
America. By the way, you just did an impression of
He
everybody in America.
created.
What the fuck? That's all of us. Every
Wait a
day.
second.
Okay,
Every
so-
day now.
So let me ask you,
That's
because do you remember the Secretary of the Navy that was removed before?
Yes.
Because he stood up against the guy
Trump
that posed
actually-
with
okay.
corpses' heads in the Middle East.
A man who was actually
The SEAL.
accused and convicted of war crimes.
Yes.
He was pardoned by Trump.
Yes.
Trump now took him to campaign rallies. That guy, so the head of the Navy was like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, we don't have any power if you're going to let criminals
Right.
go. Guys,
What kind of
who
message- oh.
we're America. We don't do that. We're not ISIS. We don't cut the heads off and hold them up on fucking video.
Yeah.
And this Navy SEAL did it. And just to be very clear, I have an opinion about this because I have a cousin who was with a Navy SEAL unit, and he was there and he saved Kenton Stacy's life. And these men are by far the best, baddest ass military people on the planet. They have honor and they're competent. And this asshole was killing people against everything we believe in America
Edward
and holding up
Gallagher.
their heads. Sorry. I asked my cousin about this, and I go, and he's very diplomatic about it. He says, well, he didn't do what we do.
Wow.
So
the guy's name was Edward Gallagher. That Navy
Gallagher, yeah, piece of shit.
Secretary of
Sorry.
Navy was fired. Then, just in November, Richard Spencer. He was replaced with someone that Trump chose that would kiss his big, flabby, nasty ass. And that person today, the acting secretary, acting because he never makes any position
No,
permanent.
he can't, because it has
has
to
to
get
be
approved
confirmed.
by Congress.
Acting Secretary of the Navy Thomas Maudley announced on Thursday that he was relieving this captain of his command. He said that he's the one that said extremely poor judgment and created a, quote, firestorm by too widely disseminating the memo detailing his concerns. He copied it to 20 to 30 other officers trying to get help, and that's the basis
I want
of his
everybody
firing.
to understand why this guy got fired. So you're taught in the military that your job is to protect your men, especially if you're in leadership. Your job is to make sure your soldiers, sailors do not get hurt. Your job is to protect your men. That's why, that's why you see guys in all these movies. It's always the great committee. It's always the one guy they frag because 10 guys died and he didn't give a shit. And then the other guy who puts his life ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
So this guy has 4,000 sailors. He's got 100 people with coronavirus. It's the most infectious disease that we've seen in 100 years. And this guy goes, "Hey, I need
Do you
help."
want to hear the whole message, the whole thing that he's being fired for?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, let me see. I'm in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lose sailors. I'm gonna use guys that are putting their lives on the line for us. I'm gonna lose them. And he sends a letter out, "Help us."
Yeah.
He gets fired for that. That's dictatorship.
So that acting Secretary of the Navy, says that he sent out that message broadly and did not take care to ensure that it couldn't be leaked, and that was part of his responsibility, in my opinion. Then goes on to say, without being asked, I have received absolutely no pressure. I've had no communication with the White House about this, he added. I did when I was arriving closer to this determination yesterday. I thought you said you didn't, but then you said you did.
By the way, no one talked to me about this except for the people that talked to me about this.
When I was
What?
arriving closer to this, I was rounding the corner. I was headed. I wasn't there.
I hadn't been talked to at all.
I haven't talked to him. But then when I
went to the revolving door, and there was another guy. And then as the door went around, he said, "You should get rid of that guy."
Text.
And I was already on it, and then the door went around.
We were communicating.
I don't know. Okay, I'm laughing, but I have to be honest, man. We've had over 3.5 years, people. We've had our freedoms shaved down. You know, it's funny because all these right-wingers have been saying that Democrats were going to take our freedoms. Fear, by the way, more fear again. Fear. They're going to take your freedoms away. Socialism's going to take you. Everyone's going to be taken care of and have medical. You don't want that. You don't want that. You're screwing up the system. Trump won't even. Here's how he's afraid. I don't know what he's afraid of right now. I do know he's afraid of losing the election, but that's all he cares about.
You know what he's afraid of? Not being noticed at all.
We already know he's a clown.
If everyone would unfollow him on Twitter, his
head would explode.
It would be over. That'd be it. It would be it. It's all he cares about. He, in the middle of a pandemic, is getting up and talking about his ratings. That's why he's doing briefings every day.
Oh, that was weird.
Ratings. He compared himself to the Bachelor finale.
I know some of you guys come here for whatever was going on in the world because you don't want to hear it because it's dry. We at least play with it. He actually said at the speech, you don't watch this, you don't pay attention to this.
What the speech? No, I saw clips of it. Yeah.
You see the Facebook speech?
Where he was talking about, I'm so popular.
It's literally in the same vein of, by the way, a good job. If only 100,000 to 200,000 Americans die, that would be considered a good job. He said that, the leader. By the way, I'm number 1 on Facebook. What?
I just found that out. Isn't that amazing? It's incredible.
Yeah, Manson's kind of popular too, but not for
It's not true.
No, he's not in the top 50.
He's not even in the. It doesn't. I mean, this is the thing that people get caught up in, and I think this is where you and I differ. Is where this is going on, and I think that one of the biggest problems is that we're still focusing on him. Clearly, he's a poor leader, and he's a even poorer human being, but we still talk about him and we still focus on him. Even to a narcissist, even blaming and being angry at it fuels them just the same. And I think that what people should be talking about is how can you deal with this pandemic without completely falling apart? You know what I mean?
So I get what you're saying, and I thought about this yesterday. We were driving home. All the governors, everybody, let's just be very clear. With this president, we are all on our own. Do you get it? Every state is on their own. And you know who got that really quick? Cuomo.
Yeah.
Cuomo's basically like, I'm not even going to argue with him anymore.
Yeah.
Why? I'm just going to do what I can. Just so you know, every state is on their own. And the ones, DeSantis, Florida, Florida is this hot spot of disease. And this thing takes about 14 to 21 days to start showing symptoms. So 3 to 4 weeks from now, Florida's not shutting down today. Florida's closing the beaches today. So 4 weeks from today, Florida is going to be just a death zone. It's just going to be a death zone. Yeah. And it's like, how are you? I would like to thank Gavin Newsom, our governor, Mayor Garcetti. You say what you want about California. We take shit.
At least we got it early. We got in there.
Wait, we have science and facts. Let's use those.
Right.
I loved that pastor that was on CNN, and he said, yes, I'm a Christian and I believe in science.
Right.
It's not exclusive.
So if you believe in God and you believe God created everything, guess what God gave you? Science. You dumbasses.
All it is, science has kind of become a dirty word like socialism too. And all science is the study of God's creation. There
you go.
Some people.
I've never seen someone connect it like that. That's weird.
That's it.
That works.
And so I don't understand why that's actually people just observing and pointing out how things work.
I think if Jesus came back,
and then predicting outcomes and protecting us from them.
Right. The best we can possibly do. That's it.
So which means if you believe sincerely that God created everything, He created us to actually discover this stuff, have science, so that science would be of God. You dumbasses.
Right.
By the way, as Jesus said in Ephesians.
In what? Wait.
If Jesus came back, you know what He would do? He would just go look around. He'd just go, really? This is how far you let this go? Really?
You idiots.
Yeah.
I mean.
Wow. I gave you a book. I left a book.
Two
I'm not
books.
saying everything in the book is awesome. There'll be heading and some stuff in it, but that was early in the book. We learned as we went through.
That's one of my favorite parts of 5th Annual End of the World Tour, where you're doing the pedophile crucifixions and you say, if only we had a book that we could flip through. I love that.
With some rules in it.
With some rules in it.
There's a pastor today. There's another pastor. Who's the guy? There's this new guy in, I don't know, it's Alabama or whatever. He basically
the Louisiana guy?
Louisiana. The Louisiana.
Misdemeanor charge?
No, he said he wants, if we're wearing a shirt today, it says, I'm not wrong or whatever he was wearing a shirt. Anyway, he's I don't. It's funny, Pastor douchebag. Let's just call him Pastor douchebag.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, now you know what you're talking about. So he basically he wants everybody to come to his church, no matter. This is a hoax.
I'm not ashamed.
This is a hoax. We have 1 million people infected with it worldwide as of today. We have over 130,000 Americans infected with it. We've killed more people have died now than died in the entire Iraq war in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So all you dickheads that aren't taking this serious, and I say dickheads with love, you guys are stupid. This is killing people. I've last week's, I kind of broke it down. I had a couple of virologists go, dude, you're kind of on, you're like 90% right. So even Dennis would say, I was better than 7.3. You freaking better than 7.3. It was. But you guys, it's deadly. This thing is deadly. Chris Cuomo has it right now. And I gotta say, I love the Cuomo brothers talking, and I feel so bad that Chris Cuomo has it because he's still on TV. He's got a fever. He's on TV and he's talking to his brother, and you can tell someone's got a fever and they got that little bit of wobbly going on. He's got a little bit of wobbly going on.
I love it. It's how my siblings and I always talk to each other.
My sister and I too. Yeah.
Yes, you and Shannon, same thing. So if you go to the news story about this pastor, so he was arrested, charged with a misdemeanor, because he had the church packed last Sunday. And then last night, he had buses and cars and vans in line to get in because all these people are going to prove everybody wrong.
Not only, I want to point
wait. At the top of that page, of that news page, is a separate, unrelated video. Louisiana governor calls on feds to send ventilators now.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing.
They're not even being
on the
funny.
Same page.
Yeah, it's at the right above the news story.
So not only did this man say everyone could come to church, get into a group together, let's get close together and worship God in the middle of a pandemic that is the most vicious viral thing we've seen in 100 years. He first of all put them in vans and buses to get there.
I don't know that he
Could
put
you
them
put them in a
there.
smaller container? Hey, can everybody just call into a Coke can and breathe together?
Everyone coughed. Yeah.
It's like a Honda Civic in Mexico. Same thing.
Well, how about the...
How many people were in there? It's becoming a thing. So now a second pastor has been charged with violating public orders against large gatherings. This is the thing, is that stupidity feeds on itself. So other people don't necessarily always watch that and think, that's not smart. I'm conservative. But even Dumb McFatterstein said yesterday his friend's in a coma, and this is extremely virulent, but he didn't say that word.
Vicious.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, there's clearly
something about this thing. This thing is not bad.
How about
it is horrible.
But
very many people are saying
everyone is
that is a tremendous virus. In 100 years, we have not seen anything like this. It came out of nowhere.
It doesn't even go. It's this thing.
Yeah, came out
and then every once in a while you'll get.
By the way,
this
this is my favorite one. Ready?
What is
this
that?
One?
By the way, this
it's like Hungry Hippo.
came out of nowhere. Yeah, if you throw him a ball, he would catch it. He's like,
can you make that video?
Yes.
Can you
like
throw
playing with it. Here you go, Trump. Here you go.
Playing with the
whole
coronavirus ball.
I want that little red coronavirus to be bouncing off his hands.
And you go.
I knew that this was a virus before it even happened.
I called it a pandemic before it was called a pandemic. No, you didn't. You said it was a hoax. This is the thing. Is that is there a point when
don't get caught up in it? That's all I have to say.
But there's obviously though a lot of people that are just not getting the memo.
But people just love him. I don't understand.
And that's the thing.
We were America. We were a country for my whole life where if someone did, I mean, Carter was a great human being, and he screwed up. They sent it. Carter got blamed. They sent it to get the hostages out of Iran, the mission went bad, and the helicopters crashed. Carter got blamed. He lost the election. We've had so many. Dukakis he was just a little bit weak, and we didn't vote him in. Who's the guy that was the head of the DNC? He went, "Hey!" In a speech, he went, we have been a country my entire life that if you fucked up, if you showed you were a bit lame, you had no shot. And this dude, I have never seen this.
Somehow, a group of people who have clearly less empathy, less intelligence, less whatever that allowed this all to happen.
See, I argue. This was my argument differently.
I think we all allowed it to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm saying that each side is so active on putting the blame on the other side, and I don't think that it's that hard and fast. I think that it was fear on both sides, and you. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it, but like I did yesterday. But I think that it's you have good people. That support him still.
Right.
That's what I want to say. It's hard to say that, but you do. I have family members, does he, that are good people, and they're intelligent. I have
a friend who's really one of my best friends in the world, and I'm having a real conflict.
This is what I said about that, though.
I'm having a cut you out of my life conflict.
Yeah.
This guy is rich, smart, brilliant. He's brilliant.
Innovative.
But yet the last 4
Making
years,
a difference.
he started collecting guns. He actually started buying stuff that you could only get from military if you have a clearance. He had to get a security clearance.
Because
he's got shit.
This is what I'm saying.
And
I told him this yesterday. How do you? So you and I, we all look at it and we say, yeah, but by now people should see. If you're a decent human being, you would see by now how destructive this has been. This administration. And here's the problem. There is one, really truly one, you could say OAN, but really truly one conservative news network, and that's Fox. So these good people, he has very good relatives that are good people, ex-military, and
loving.
So they watch Fox News. My dad, retired Marine with a Purple Heart, tells me 2 weeks ago, it's all okay because they found a cure. And I said, Dad, did they play the second part of that press conference where Dr. Fauci got up and said, no, that's going to take 1.5 years. We don't have a cure. It's not a thing. And he said, no, they just played Donald Trump saying that. So that's what I'm saying. These people are doing what they're supposed to do. They're going to watch the news. They're not going to watch liberal news. They want to watch conservative news. Fox News is masquerading as as a conservative news network. These people are doing their job and they're only hearing one side of the story. And if you go and watch Fox, they're not hearing what everyone else is hearing. Right. So they're not all dumb.
We do every once in a while, just so you guys know, we do every once in a while.
We go back and forth, yeah.
Sit down and we watch, her and I watch Fox News for an hour, and every time we're stunned because we've watched the other news and we've actually seen the video of what he said, how he said it, in the context he said it, and then Fox takes it, cuts this much of it, shows that, and you go, they didn't show, and so I will grant you this: people that watch Fox News, at one point after all this destruction that has happened in our country, it's on them at one point. At one point, they have to go, wait, we've just lost, we had 6 million people for unemployment in a week.
Yeah, but no one would argue that was because of any person. Everyone would just say, well, that's,
Well, I see, I can prove that differently because we had an Ebola outbreak and we had a swine flu outbreak during Obama. Guess what never happened? We never shut the country down. Guess what never happened? They never got virulent and passed around to 100,000 people. Guess what never happened? The economy didn't come to a screeching halt.
I get
Do you know why? Because Obama had a pandemic team. Obama sent 10,000 troops to Africa when the Ebola outbreak happened and stopped it.
I get that. But here's what I'm saying. This is why I said, I think Hal Sparks was on, and I said, the man is brilliant. It's the Rona.
No, I ate something.
How long ago has that been in your throat?
Is it exactly 14 days ago?
I will tell you this. If we got the 19, we actually documented it.
Great. So the Hal Sparks was on, and I said the man is brilliant at sound bites, and he got really offended that I would request that you not call him brilliant. And I'm not saying that he's intellectually brilliant, but strategically he's brilliant. He's great at that. This is how he's gotten through his life. So he does these. Watch, it's sleight of hand. Watch, everybody's watching this hand and not seeing him take your watch back here or whatever. You got to watch. It's all about manipulating the stock market. That's all it's ever been about.
He's a human insider trade.
Totally.
Every day.
And fluffing his own businesses and things like that. But we all get caught up with this stuff and nobody's paying attention to what's going on back there. And then this stuff, the phrases. So a reporter just got up and asked him about disbanding the global pandemic team. And he repeated 3 times, that's fake news, John. Why would you? That's fake. That's fake. That's a fake story. Didn't happen. Fake. You know better. And so what Fox will then air tonight is that clip. And then everyone is going to say back to you on Twitter that that's a fake story and everybody knows it's a fake story.
Except
so those people aren't getting the information.
There's actually video of a conference that was actually given by the guy that he fired.
Got it. But that would require you knowing that there was misinformation that you needed to go and verify. And that's what I'm saying. Sue Fox News to the ground.
What about was it the governor of Georgia or
Tennessee, one of them, by the way,
who just said yesterday that, we didn't know that it was contagious.
This was the first we've heard of this.
Like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. December 31st, the entire country was notified that this was brutal.
It's on every website ever.
But on top of that, there was video of Chinese dudes in Boy in the Bubble suits with fire hoses shooting battery acid to kill this thing. Yeah. And we're like, that was December 31st. Yeah, we didn't really know about it.
It's outrageous how many times that the Trump administration has dropped the ball on this whole thing. It's totally outrageous.
It's crazy.
And that there are still supporters that are kind of repeating, downplaying the thing, or hey, we should get back to work, and
I have family members on Facebook as of yesterday that were saying, just pay attention. Government's now telling us what to do, and we're all sheeple. We're all paying attention. We're all doing what the government said, and now everybody's staying home because of government. And Trump is a gift. I know, and he's the one that said he's extending it to April 30th, but they don't think of that because that's not what Fox is reporting. And right now he's a gift from God. Thank God we have him. And I was just like, I'm related to these people.
So George Carlin's one of my favorite comics in the world of all time, him and Robin Williams. And I will say this, there's a bit that he did called The Big Club. Go watch The Big Club. And the point he says about it, it's a big club and you ain't in it. And it's so funny. It never became clearer to me more. And this kind of happened during Obama too. But he bailed out GM and he saved. GM was connected to 130,000 jobs. He saved those. Same with Chrysler. This time though, there's 60 companies that their entire profit last year was $76.9 billion, somewhere in the 70s. Those exact companies paid zero in taxes. Boeing was one of them. Those companies just got, of the $2 trillion stimulus, because by the way, rich people need to be stimulated, they got more of it than anybody else. All you people out there listening who work your ass off to keep your family fed and keep a roof over their heads, you're going to get $1,200. Boeing got billions.
Delta
American, got
United.
Billions. American got billions. United got billions. GM got billions. And again, you just go, and now they're saying, well, we got to get the country going again. We got to get back to work. So they need you to get back to work to make them more money. Even though they made more money than ever had last year and paid zero taxes, they used your tax money to give to these companies that already made $76 billion.
What better
It is
time
a big club, and you're not in it.
for people to be asking why he won't turn over his tax returns.
Right.
Why do you think? I mean, it's like, but yes, again, we expect people to think through, but if you have propaganda being pushed into your brain and you don't know that it is.
But but we're 3 years in though, and now so at one point you're just I agree with you so close to I'm almost 100% with you. There is a point though after everything turns to shit where you go, wait, maybe I'm not getting the right, because Fox is saying everything's great, and yet I don't have a job. I'm locked in my house.
My dad said to me, intelligent, master's degree, pilot, Purple Heart, and my dad said to me, I said, Dad, you gotta turn off Fox, because Grandma Jean, that everybody knows,
Right.
she doesn't even watch it. She said, they should be ashamed. That's what she said.
She's a thinker, though. Smart lady.
But my dad is too. But my dad said, I said, turn on CNN, get something maybe closer to the middle. MSNBC, I get that's over here. Fox, something like, and he goes, oh, you mean the Clinton network? And I'm like, it's Clinton News Network. And I go,
Lamestream.
Dad, did you hear that on Fox? And he goes, well, yeah, that's what they call it.
Lame stream media.
I go, they don't, it's not their network. Okay.
So let me ask you something. So let's talk about I just got something. Let's talk about the lame stream media. So you're saying, so you people that believe this, you're saying that for some reason there's this organization called Fox News Network that is this multi-billion-dollar thing owned by Rupert Murdoch, an Australian, owned worldwide by everybody. You're saying that CNN was owned by American Ted Turner, a very conservative American, by the way,
Yep.
was. You're saying that NBC, CBS, all these people that all of us watch, and again, they've been proven to be factual and right over and over again. Fox is proven to be wrong over and over again. You're saying that for some reason, 80% of the country has missed this organization's insight. Except when you play video of Sean Hannity going, this is a hoax, it's a Democratic hoax, helmet head. It's a Democratic hoax, this didn't happen. Then a week later, he's like, guys, this coronavirus is very bad and very deadly.
He's going back again.
No.
He's going back the other way now. That it's ridiculous. We don't need, the government's telling us what to do. We need to get back to work. It's going back the other way. He's just a mouthpiece. And what's his name?
Do you know why?
Who was it that did the broadcast and was incensed at Trump for the first time ever?
Oh, the radio guy. Yeah. The New York radio guy.
And he disappeared. No, the Fox guy.
Smith.
Shepard Smith.
Shep Smith.
Yes.
Yep, Shep
Disappeared and hasn't said a word since.
He signed a non-compete. He can't.
After Barr went to meet with, it's
Murdoch.
like, it's...
I can't shake the fact that I feel like that it's a two-way street still. It's Fox has got to be appealing to something that people that are watching it are latching onto. It's a marketing arm. It's an advertising
I know what it is. I thought about this yesterday. Go ahead, keep going. What do you think it is?
I think it's people who have less empathy than other people. Just something that's in them. Because of that, they're more fearful. They're more us versus them. They're
getting something taken from them.
Yes, they feel
it's a tiger
anxious. And
here's what I think it is. I can break down the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in one word apiece. Republican Party, me. Democratic Party, we.
Right.
So the reason that these people don't want to be these people is because me doesn't fit into we at all. I mean, I got to be part of something where someone can have as much as I have? Fuck that.
Yes,
right.
and...
Let me finish. I was going to finish.
I got a rebuttal.
All right, go ahead. Rebut that.
Keep going. Go ahead, finish.
No, this is me. This is we.
'Kay.
What do you got? I'll keep them up.
So if the Republicans,
This
one
one?
of their biggest stances is
Pro-business?
is anti-abortion.
Right?
That, you could argue, is not me. That's them standing up.
This is how they actually justify their Christianity. That the anti-abortion.
Well, all right-wing aren't Christians.
Here's the thing. You can't be anti-abortion and then fire the captain of a ship because guys are gonna die. You can't be anti-abortion, get up on stage and go 100 to 200,000 Americans dying is a good job. You can't do it. It doesn't. It does this. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. It doesn't work. I'm not angry at you. I'm just angry at the situation. You say you're anti-abortion. Can't kill babies. Yeah, but you're okay with killing adults. You're okay with adults fucking dying. You didn't do shit for 72 days. Do you know that he was notified on December 31st? Which means if we heard about it on December 31st, they already had intelligence reports prior to that. He didn't do anything. January, February, March 13th.
But that's not being reported. That's what I'm saying. This is my whole thing is that And he has disempowered every agency that was put in place
Amen.
to protect us and to inform us. So we cannot trust the media anymore.
Nope.
And the funny thing
Fake
is
news.
that the media that he's calling fake news, notice that anytime he says fake news, it's because someone asks him, as he says, a not very nice question.
A question that we have
gotcha question.
a gotcha question that we have video of him saying it. Like,
Right.
hold on, because the news is. I like the news has gotten to this point now where they're like, he starts to lie now, and CNN starts cutting away. All right, guys, we're back. Hey, let's talk about what he just said.
But that's the thing. So now the truth is not the truth. That's what he said.
So this is. And by the way, you don't hear.
I'm just arguing they don't all see it that way.
I would argue that the majority do. The majority are about the money. I mean, we have how many Republican senators? Although Dianne Feinstein too, but what's the senator that
Loeffler.
Loeffler sold 8 people. She got briefed on the coronavirus with a bunch of other people. She instantly that day sold $18.7 million worth of stock, and her husband is in one of the companies that her
husband's the chair
in charge of the Dow, the Dow,
SEC.
SEC. So the next day she went out to her constituents and said everything's fine, don't worry about this. So jail, she needs to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time in history, this would have been the biggest news story, except for this because it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
It's so chaotic.
Yeah, you're right,
and it has been.
And every day's insanity. Every day, like today, he said. He said, I talked about the Japanese ban thing, right? Did I say? I didn't say it I talked about it earlier. We're going to ban. They said, Mr. President, Japan has banned any beat from the U.S. going into their country. Are we going to follow up with a ban against them? First of all, I want everyone to know we've been doing bans before bans were popular. No one did bans like we did bans. We've been doing bans since the day I got here. A lot of bans. Like, the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry I get so mad. I know this is supposed to be a comedy podcast, but guys, I'm to the point now where in America they're telling us that 100,000 people dying will be if we do everything right.
And we're not, and we haven't.
South Korea, on the other hand, had the exact same virus, exact same day, got notified, same kill rate. South Korea didn't shut down their economy. They didn't make people stay in house. They did this thing. They got testing instantly. When you couldn't drive by, they had roadblocks where you had to pull up. You had to get tested. If you had coronavirus, guess what happened? They took your ass away, and you actually got healed, and or whatever happened. You got put in medical care, and they separated you from the population. Our country. Guys are saying, come to church, get together in a group, get in a van, come down to church.
The new guy that got, by the way, that would never work here, pulling people out of their cars. And you would be one of the people tripping out about that.
No, they didn't pull them out in South Korea. They said, you have coronavirus, come with us.
They were that polite. They were like, you have coronavirus?
Right this way, sir.
I'm the corona concierge. Follow me.
I like that you made it nice. But if that were happening...
That's valid. But South Korea is not a dictatorship.
So this guy, the new pastor that's... this is the same guy. For the second time in 2 days, police have charged a pastor with defying public orders against large gatherings. The guy in Baton Rouge, Pastor Tony Spell of Life Tabernacle Church, he's got 6 counts of violating a governor's executive order. He says that it's his First Amendment right. We have a mandate from the word of the Lord to assemble together. The First Amendment says that Congress shall make no law prohibiting the exercise of religion. We aren't breaking any laws. It's a government overreach. They're asking us to stop practicing our freedom of religion.
But is it a government? Because here's the thing. President Trump, though, has called it a war. So what's the law in an emergency situation?
Here's what I'm missing in all of this. Here's the disconnect, because Fox and Trump said hoax. We have video after video after rally, 3 different rallies.
There was 15 cases. We'll be down to 0 in a couple days.
Yeah.
Really? It'll go right away. When it gets warm, it's out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
In April, that's what I tweeted out this morning. I said, hey, it's April. Oh, glad this thing's going to end like a miracle.
Except it's summer in Australia. But also notice that his son tweeted when this whole thing was already deep. He tweeted something along the lines of, today's a great day to invest in the stock market. It's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. So I have no idea what I was going to say.
this
I
is
do.
the-
Well, he's manipulating the stock market every day. He said today, I just found out it was untrue. He said that he called Russia and Saudi Arabia, and they're going to decrease production by 10 million barrels a day because Russia. You guys don't know this. I'm so deep in the woods in this because of this podcast, and I apologize if
to
it
me,
is.
you
I
apologize.
apologize to you.
Thank you.
So Russia and Saudi Arabia had a deal where they were actually kind of matching production so they could kind of manipulate prices so they could make enough money all the time. Well, they didn't agree recently. They had a big blow up. Russia and Saudi decided, fuck all y'all, we're going to produce as much as we want against each other too. They're trying to drive each other's price down, which is not going to work. This is the beginning of World War III shit, by the way. That's when this stuff happens. So Trump said he called them both today, got them on the phone, and they're going to now decrease production to 10 million barrels to drive the price back up. Well, we found out that didn't happen. Putin released a statement.
So surprising.
Putin released a statement that said this never happened. We never had the Putin, his buddy, released a statement that said this phone call never happened. What is he talking about?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So two things. If it didn't happen, that's just Trump being
So
Trump.
he's just making it up.
If it did happen, this is Putin being Putin. And we are, I love saying Putin, by the way, and we are in trouble.
You also found a way to put it twice in one sentence, which was really oddly satisfying. I don't know. Something inside of me went.
So my point is that we are in it.
Is what I remember now.
People don't understand that how dangerous this is. What's going on right now? We are on
Absolutely.
the ragged edge. Because right now we're weak too.
Yeah, we're
so
vulnerable. Yeah.
We're vulnerable and we're weak. And this, if you look at history, this is how world wars start. Shit like this. So resources get scared. People get frightened. The only way you have a crazy leader who can save his ass is to attack somebody to divert how bad he's fucked up. And Trump has no problem with that. He doesn't care as long as it's about him. You're like you said, it's very
Ratings.
true.
His ratings. In the midst of a global pandemic, he's giving briefings every day that average 90 minutes at a pop, and he's talking about his ratings.
8 million
He loves it. He loves
They
this.
were saying that my ratings
This
are
is
the
his
highest
dream
ever.
come true.
Yeah, you know why? Because we're watching a car wreck that we're all involved in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why.
And here's the thing is that people don't get, and thanks to somebody that listens to the podcast who sent me in the direction of this website about narcissist personality disorder because of your ex. It was so therapeutic. If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you might not know that you do, and then you go to this website. It's a guy that is a narcissist, and he's using this website to help people that are caught in relationships. It would be great for dealing with this. And one of the biggest things that I learned that made so much sense, and it makes sense now, everyone on Twitter, all these really, people with good hearts, right, that we
Right.
see battling it out on Twitter,
Right.
telling Trump how it is and telling him what's wrong with him and putting facts and news links and stuff.
She's describing me. She just didn't want me to get mad.
You and-
she just didn't want me to get mad.
You and a lot of other
yeah,
people.
but Hal Sparks, Richard Marx,
John Fugelsang.
John Fugelsang. Yeah.
Everyone, you don't get that it doesn't matter.
No, I do.
It's no, I mean that it doesn't matter to him. You can post, tell him how fat he is. You can call him obese, orange, whatever you call him.
Illiterate.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't even process the words that you're saying. All he knows, it's called fuel for narcissists. They feed on any kind of attention like it's fuel. You can, as long as you're not noticing him, it's the greatest day. And that's what people don't get. I know everyone's fighting the battle, but he loves it.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt
No,
him.
my it's funny, man. My ex would get it's weird. The weirder when we would fight, it was weird. Like if she got amped by it. You're right. It was almost like someone had plugged the electricity into her.
The
She was
only
like,
time
we're
that
fighting.
we saw progress was when we walked away 100%. We moved. We changed everything. We didn't give any forwarding anything. She took us to court to try and get that information, and the judge shut her down. And that was and we blocked her email, blocked her text, blocked everything. And in the past, we would have thought, well, we can't do that because what if we don't know that, whatever. And we figured we have to move on. It'll find us if we need it to find us. And it was the first time we'd ever had peace in our lives. It got really crazy for a while. Court dates, lots of court dates filed so that we would have to appear where she was. But then it went away.
So here's the by what you just said is so valid. Except this man is the leader of the free world.
I know.
You can't ignore him because when you ignore him, he just says what the fuck he wants until someone pays attention to him again. What we need to do is take him out, and we have a bunch of ballless, old, fat, saggy white men in Congress that won't do their fucking job.
But that's where we're going to make the difference. So all of the day-to-day, my mom called it yang, the back and forth.
True.
The yang, it doesn't matter. It exhausts us. My stepfather is a retired colonel in the Army, and he always says, keep your powder dry. He said, this is just a battle. This is not the war. The war will happen in November, and we all need to make sure that happens, that he's not able to push that off, that states get their primaries done, and that we go and we vote him out, and that everybody goes and votes. Your vote does matter, no matter where you live.
People, you hear that? I mean, you hear that? Like, she's right. All we have, and because a lot of countries don't have the weapons we have, we do have voting. The problem is that last time, I think he's made everybody lose their faith in voting too.
Yes.
He's made you fearful that your vote doesn't count. So a lot of people are going to say, I'm not going to vote then because the Russians are fixing it, and it doesn't matter who I vote for anyway. And that is not true.
Or I live in this state and they vote for Democrat anyway, so I don't need to vote.
Don't do
California, that would be easy to say, right? Of course California is going to vote.
Well, he lost by 3 million votes. I think 2 million of those were California. So he lost by 3 million votes. We have a system right now, and eventually all systems become obsolete. That's how it works. If I was just thinking today about we're putting the episodes of Titus up, and there's a thing where one of the lines Zach says is he goes, yeah, that's his VCR, but the pod is mine. It's really funny. You got to watch the new episode, guys, up today.
The VCR.
But technology lasts about 20 years. You think VCRs lasted about 80s to about 2000, then CDs took over, DVDs took over. I mean, we had cassette tapes, and everything lasts about 20 years. And now we're all online. It's 20 years. The democratic system has lasted for 250. If you know history, and I've said it before, every society comes apart after about 250 years, especially if they try to stick to the rules they started with. The reason that we have amendments to our Constitution was for one reason, so we could change with the times.
Right.
That's whenever I hear one of these SCOTUS guys, these Supreme Court guys, are like, "No, I'm a constitutionalist." Well, if you are, then you would know that the laws change, that the shit changes.
Right.
Thomas Jefferson, things change as the country changes, whether it's gun laws or whatever. We see what works and what kills less people across the country with gun laws. And yet, in America, Second Amendment, Constitution. Well, the Constitution was meant to be changed, which is, by the way, there's a great bit in the new special we put up this week. I didn't mean to lead here.
Some people's heads just exploded when you said that.
What?
The Constitution was meant to be changed.
It was. It's written in it.
Right.
It was. There's actually a quote from one of our founding fathers that people love to hold up and go. They hate that quote though.
Living document.
Yeah, it's a living document that should be changed as the time change. And I think it was George Washington who said, "We do not know enough to know what the future holds to be able to write something that will last forever. You have to change this as society changes, and we've changed so far. And yet these, it's like, what level of dumb do you have to be to claim something should be the way it is, and then when I go, well, yeah, okay, but it says in that same document that you're claiming is basically written by God, which it wasn't, that it can't be changed, but it says in the document it can be changed.
Could we just be clear and just separate that for everyone really quickly?
Okay.
That Jesus didn't write the Constitution.
Hold
What?
on.
I know.
Wait a minute.
That is blasphemy.
I know.
How dare you?
No.
Yeah,
No.
it was. So Jesus
Lightning
was,
bolt.
and then 1770. It was like really a long way apart.
It was a bit.
Really. No, I know. Don't uncross.
Wait a minute. Didn't they?
No.
We started this country because those guys, they weren't forcing us to do religion. We wanted to have our own religion, and we came. No, that's not.
No, it's
Did I
not
miss it?
even related because
I gotta stop watching Fox.
When you say God-given right to bear arms, he didn't give you.
Yeah,
in fact, he didn't even really address.
It was
that.
guys wearing nylons and wigs
and
that gave it to you.
slingshots.
Really? Yeah.
It was, it wasn't a thing. There were eunuchs, however, and that is really, I think, infinitely more terrifying
I'm
than
gonna take a little break
musket.
because even I'm getting tired of talking about this. Every year we
What are
throw
you doing?
every year we throw a Prince party, and due to the fact that the coronavirus killed our Prince party,
Just thinking about
so
that.
we don't have a Prince party. So these M&Ms have been locked in deep freeze for a long time. And although we didn't have a Prince party, by the way, people, the man he supposedly has 30,000 songs recorded. He's got 48 or 39 or 49 albums. Go listen to Prince today. Your booty will shake and you will get some But this is for you. That's for Prince part, and then this is for you.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
so in honor of
have the
missing
logo
our Prince
on them
party.
because some girl here had them printed.
And they're still fresh. Good M&M's.
Of course, I sealed them.
The Prince logo is on them.
I was really looking forward to the party.
Oh no,
was too.
he doesn't know this yet, but we're rescheduling it.
Oh yeah, we're scheduling.
It's not happening. It's the best time of the year.
We're just gonna stream it all together.
No, we're gonna wait, and it'll be we're freed /
Right.
Prince party.
And
it'll
everybody-
be.
And the people that survived the coronavirus will tell their stories.
You're right.
What happened to you? Oh, dude, it was horrible.
Nobody talks at the Prince party. Everybody's
No,
there's drooling.
There was booty shaking.
There's a lot of booty
There's
shaking.
a lot of booty shaking.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no talking. By the way, today, guys, this podcast is brought to you
Start again and action.
By the way, today this podcast is brought to you by Feals. Go to feals.com. I did not think of this last week when we were talking about what products are so relevant right now. Feals. How relevant is Feals right now? This
Take
is
the
something.
anxiety down?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is something, and help you sleep. This is something that we use daily. Rona.
Yo, the 19 be back.
It gets delivered to your doorstep, which everybody knows that I love. Don't have to leave your house. That's the only upside of this whole thing. Naturally reduces stress, anxiety, helps with pain, sleeplessness. All you do is put a couple drops under your tongue. It doesn't make you high. A lot of people have asked me that. It doesn't have the THC in it. It's just the CBD in it. And if you want to know, go online. They have support online, and they have every question answered. But we happen to love this product.
I it's weird because I don't like taking medication. I don't like taking anything. I don't like taking NyQuil. I don't like taking anything that makes me goofy. Because the next day I wake up and I feel weird. There's always there's the weird like NyQuil hangover.
Or you pee in your pajama drawer, which that was a lesson learned for me.
Yeah. Thanks again for that.
You're welcome. Trust me, I paid for it.
Yeah, but natural. It's natural. It takes my anxiety down. I have to find every time I use the Feals CBD oil, I wake up the next morning and I don't wake up. A lot of times I wake up because my whole life is a lot of chaos. Not lately, but I mean my body is just set to fucking chaos. To like needle to chaos. You know that could happen. That when I was like 2. That happened when I was 2 though. Right. So my needle kind of sticks there, and when I do the CBD oil, I wake up like, oh
yeah,
man,
there's
I feel
no
pretty
hangover,
cool.
Recalibrated.
There's no addiction.
It brings it.
Yeah, it pulls it back
into
like
chaos. Not in the red.
It's
right in the
it's
middle.
crazy.
Something could happen. That's where it sets back to. Yeah.
It calms your central nervous system. That's what CBD oil does. And so it's not something where you would be like, oh, I feel, if I asked you later, you would just go, wow, I do feel just calmer. Everything just sort of settles. Without it, I wouldn't sleep at night. I wasn't sleeping at night, and now I am. So Feals has us feeling our best every day. It can help you guys too. Become a member today by going to feals.com/Titus, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's feals.com/Titus to become a member. 50% automatically taken off. First order, free shipping.
What a time to use that.
I know. That's why I didn't think. Did you just eat all of this? So I
shot.
really love all natural. I love things that aren't bad for you.
You know what's weird? I feel so.
Oh, those smelled good.
Yeah, right. So that's why I didn't want to have 2. You're done.
Wow, they smelled really good.
We kept them in their tubes, and
I put the Prince logo on some of them, and they're purple and white, and on the other ones it says Purple Party 19.
See, for me, these are like a collector's item. Can you sign? I
will.
Well, so I did.
I'll get a microscope.
I did party gifts for everyone last year that came, and I ordered these purple boxes, and I had Prince tissue paper printed that was lining the box.
Oh, that's so fun! Yeah,
and all kinds of Prince, Prince buttons, and these,
Swag.
and that Prince patch. It was a bunch of Prince stuff, and everybody got to take one home. I had Prince cookies printed up.
Didn't we forget to give them out, or did we?
The first year, those went to waste. This past
that was a good party.
Defense, I was drunk.
First Prince party, it was like woo.
Last year, I learned enough to ask the bartending team to please give them out as people left. I'm not within an hour. It's not even worth it.
Yeah,
I have nothing of value to add to anything.
I never get so drunk that I don't worry about where you are, because sometimes I need help. Where's Rachel? You ever seen Rachel? I go that you're always out. Yeah.
That's you.
That is me.
We had a professional photographer last year, and I have some killer shots of him on the dance floor.
Getting funky.
He were getting funky. My favorite part about it, and I've been feeling very nostalgic about it because we're not doing it this year, but there are certain songs.
We'll do it this year when it's okay.
Yeah, right now. I mean, there are certain songs that when they start playing, you'll see it's insane. It's a lot of comics come, like it's our group. And last year we had like 115 people in here, and it's the certain songs that come on that all of a sudden everyone just flocks to the dance floor. We play Morris Day and the Time.
Anything Prince related, we will actually cross over. We'll play Vanity. We'll do some other stuff. But as long as it's related to Prince, we will play it. Yes.
What's it called? The Bird. The Bird makes everyone hit the dance floor.
That's a good one.
But also, you drop in Little Red Corvette, people pop up, Sexy Motherfucker,
Mad Sex.
People,
that one gets people
But
out.
there's so many songs that people don't know. What I love about Prince is why the Master's on the Wall is that there's so many songs that I want people to hear that they don't know about. Like every time we've had it, people will get done and be like, "What is this?
Yeah.
What is this song?"
Yeah.
And one year
Right.
I made
Oh, that's what we put in the box last year.
USBs of 14 songs that people didn't know were Prince songs.
Right.
And so they could be like, "Oh,
Like that other artist did?
No.
That he did.
were actually Prince songs."
There are a ton
that
of
didn't
those,
get,
too.
Because you remember, here's what happens when you take over your own career, because this is what he did. When you take over your own career, you lose... Because it's a big machine, show business. You were in it. You're the lead singer in a band. It's a big machine. If you don't have a record company behind you, you either have to put it out yourself out of the trunk of your car, which made a lot of rap guys very, very, very rich because they did it and they got deals because of it. Or you just kind of go into obscurity. But if you keep going and you own your stuff, like the reason I can put all these specials out, guys, is because I own them. I don't let anybody own my stuff based on Prince, 100%.
Yeah.
Is you don't get the push.
Right.
Like no one's going,
Right.
all right, we're gonna put billboards up of Titus and we're gonna put it in Walmarts and Target
Yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah.
And he's gonna sell 5 million copies.
Yeah.
Because here's what would happen: if I sold those 5 million copies, I would get maybe 3 or 5% of that. Even if I got 10% of it, $500,000. That's a lot of money, right? But they made $4.5 million.
Right.
So instead, I just do it myself. And we make what I
And
would
you-
have made, what it made or more, except I control it.
Right.
Yeah, and then I can put it out when you guys need it during this stupid pandemic that didn't have to happen, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back.
We always are. We're never not.
By the way, guys, if you need to...
Oh, that was a nice detour.
What I really want you guys to do is go to Christopher Titus TV. Man, the subscribers are going crazy. We're putting up a lot of free content for you guys right now because we know you're at home. We have a plan for something that we're going to do. I'm working it out. Here's the idea. Based on Bombshell's idea, who now she's totally backed off of it.
Not exactly.
May 2nd, we are going to film Carrying Monsters, my brand new special, here in the Combustion Film Studios. We're going to, if we can do it, we're going to get medical professionals to actually tell us how to do it. We're going to mop the floors with bleach. We're going to have people take their shoes off when they come in. They're going to be wearing masks. And we're going to live stream it on the internet to everywhere in the country. So you'll be able to see a brand new 90-minute special on May 2nd. Again, this is tentative right now. We're still working out the logistics. I don't know, And my Highlander's like, fuck. Oh. I can see the look on your face like, are we doing this? What? What are we doing now? So we will do the whole special. 90 minutes from the Combustion Lounge with a small audience, so I can get my timing, so we can have laughter timing, and you'll be able to get it. We're going to get about $10. What we're going to do with that money, by the way, depending on how many we get, we're going to give a large percent of it away to people that need it. They're in my part of the business, whether it's wait staff that don't have jobs anymore, and so the more people we can get, so tell people about it. March 2nd, Carrying Monsters, and stay tuned. Well, I'll keep giving you updates as we go. And subscribe to the channel, Christopher Titus TV. There you go.
Also, right now, as of this coming out, it'll only be a couple more days, but you lowered the price of the box set. It's usually $90. He's lowered it to $50 for all 7 specials.
Yeah, through the pandemic.
And then the Amerigeddon is discounted too if you buy them together. So it's like $115. Usually you get it everything for $50 or $65.
Yeah, so it's 10 and a half. Well, if you get all of it for $65, it's actually 12 hours of comedy, plus an extra hour of bonus stuff. So 13 hours of stuff. And we lowered it because, man, you guys, let me be honest. without you guys, I'm a dude bitching into space, and I've been doing this for 36 years now. And the only way that I got to do that was because of you guys. So we cut everything almost pretty much in half. And so get it if you want it. I'm not going to sign them because of the pandemic. So they're sealed in plastic. So get them, watch them, and then when I come to your town, when all this crap is over, bring it. I will sign them all day long.
Bring it sounds like a threat. Then when I'm in your town, when this is over, bring it.
Someone told me that most things I say sound like a threat.
It does, actually. Our dogs would agree.
I like that you guys are both nodding. Yeah, that's about right.
Our dog Groucho, I'll be in bed with them watching some nice, calm, quiet something on TV, and it's very nice and peaceful, yes. And then he will come into the room to go to bed, and Groucho will hop off the bed and disappear. He's like, you know what? You're a little too intense for me, actually. I'm just going to head down the hallway.
A lot of people call that stage presence, but okay. But okay.
I could, whenever you call me here, it's
and
more
now,
stories.
No, this is good. This is you usually, I feel like you're being thoughtful of me, and then it's no, I'm kidding. It's not a pound.
Yeah. See? See?
Tell everyone what Chaplin, our other dog, does to you.
All right.
So Groucho jumps down and disappears. I have to go find him.
Sometimes he just comes over.
It depends on your mood.
He runs.
And then, which always runs a little hot. And then
they saw it twice already. I actually caught myself yelling at the camera about this stupid idiot we have as president, and I caught myself going, "Oh wow, dude, that's the scary dude."
That's what they're seeing. Yeah.
He and I are so desensitized to it, though. We both were like,
But here's the thing: I like feel,
pickles.
it's almost like it's almost like I can feel myself go, like the darkness come. I heard it, and I stopped it.
So tell them what Chaplin does when you come in.
So Chaplin, I've been our dog for a very long time. He's the best little boy, and so sometimes I'll come in the room and I'll get over him and go, "How's it going, buddy? You want to give Dad a kiss?" And this is what he does. Never does it to her. He just looks at me and he goes.
He kisses him. He kisses him while he's doing
snarling
that.
At me, yeah.
Do it again. It's my favorite. He kisses him. He's like, I know I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
But this is how I feel about it.
What I've learned is now I don't never stand over him. I go down, and dog people, dog professionals, maybe you can tell me. I put my head on the bed next to him, and then he doesn't do it as much.
He's saying,
he'll still. It's a little bit. It's a little bit.
You better calm down now.
Yeah, dude,
like that.
Dad, tone it down.
Yeah,
Dad, tone it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Tone It Down could literally be the title of my autobiography. Hey, tone it down.
No, it couldn't be an autobiography. It would be a biography. You would never write that. Yes,
book, yeah.
Tone it down.
Hey, yo, bro, tone it down.
Would be what everyone else would write about you.
Tone it down.
Yeah.
Name of the book.
What would your title be in response? Your autobiography would be. It's called Stage Presence.
Yes.
Some would call that.
Some would call it stage presence. Sorry.
Many people are saying.
Stop.
Tremendous.
Stop. Don't even compare me to that moron. It's a moron.
He's not. You know what's funny though? He never was ever thought to be intelligent in any capacity, or he's always been seedy and gross and cheesy and dumb and sleazy, and that was the joke of Donald Trump. I mean, everyone in the world, it was apolitical. That was the dude that poured the champagne on the Mercedes emblem at the beginning of the porno that he did. It's like, but now we're all pretending it's not a thing.
They said there was something that I just read, and it came out in 2018, but there was an article that I didn't know it hit, but it hit People magazine. He was already president, and that they said that there's an interview of Donald Trump before The Apprentice hit, where he even admits he's only worth $150 million. He admits it, and they said that they were going to film The Apprentice in his offices, but the guys in the article said his offices are so cheesy and bad and old, and they smell bad, that he didn't do it. They had to build that set. It was a set. That wasn't his offices. That conference room wasn't offices. So we've got this huckster con man POS in the White House right now, and why are we surprised that everything's coming apart? The man bankrupt casinos. So guys, he couldn't sell steak, water, or vodka. Bankrupt 4 casinos, not a casino. I'll give you one. You screwed up one time on a casino. 4. He won't show us his taxes. He's banging porn stars while his wife had just given birth. Oh, we can go down the list. We can go, he says he grabs pussy just all the time because he's famous. So we can go down the list. And so whenever you guys get mad at me and you're like, he's the greatest ever, no, we actually have lists in history. He got charged in court for raping a 13-year-old on Jeffrey Epstein's island. And guess what happened? That court case, 16 days before the election, got pulled, which means they settled it.
Around the same time he was paying off the other two people that we know that he paid off.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What else? Did he have a college too? Oh, he had a college that they actually fined him $25 million. He actually had a charity.
Oh, yeah. That.
By the way, here's the thing about this. Here's what I'm saying is that we forget all this stuff.
Right.
There's so much chaos, like you said, that you forget all this shit.
Yeah.
So he actually had rape charges from a 13-year-old. He's got 32 different sexual assault accusations. He's got what happened? Oh, okay. So the Epstein was his best buddy. We have video of that all day long. We've got I lost it. I was just talking about
the college.
Oh, the college. He actually had Trump University had to pay. He screwed everybody. Had to pay $25 million. His family
and reparations to the people
that joined the college
on the order of a judge.
Right. Which means he's basically felony, but it's civil, so he actually didn't get trouble. Then he actually had a charity where he was taking money that he said was going to be given to children with cancer
and soldiers, armed services,
and the
charity.
armed services. I'm going to write $1 million check to the soldiers. Never did it. That being said,
he misappropriated those charitable contributions and bid on a painting of himself.
And the court has now stated that him or anyone in his family,
well, they're specifically named Ivanka, Jared, and Don Jr.
Right.
and Donald Trump are no longer, by court order, allowed to serve on the board of any charitable organization.
So the guy's such a scumbag. Let's say he flipped over a new leaf and became charitable. He was such a scumbag his whole life that he can't even do that now. So that's the dude. How is it possible that we are now locked in our houses and there's a deadly pandemic running through the country, killing Americans? God, it just doesn't seem to match, does it? So all of you who voted for him, I want you to know, and Ray said it best, I know you're good people. A lot of you are. You're not mean, you're not vicious, you're protecting your families. That's what you think. Turn off Fox News. Turn off Fox News. You don't have to watch MSNBC, but watch CNN. Get your news source from a reliable news source.
NPR or something.
NPR, and find the facts, because you're not listening to them. And I know why you don't listen to the facts. I know why. I didn't get a chance. We got distracted because the facts are hard. The facts are dark. The facts are holy shit.
The reality has become pretty dark.
But the reason but here's the thing. Trump doesn't listen to facts either. I have a hunch. I have a hunch. Guess what his hunch did? His hunch locked down America. His hunches turned the switch off on America.
And if you're offended by this line of speech, which certainly he's very aggressive, you might feel like either Groucho or Chaplin right now.
I have a whole group of fans that they're going like this. I still watch, but
I feel like Groucho. I almost got up like 5 times. It's not the message, it's the delivery. If I was wrong, all you have to do, and there are such easy ways of going to find out. You can read bills, you can read minutes on the White House governmental website. You can go and look at videos of what he said on all of these dates, on how
fake
he
news.
Discounted.
No, never said it.
3 times, 3 different rallies. There are videos of him calling it a hoax when people were dying.
Not only that, but it was actually already in the country, and he was having rallies. Like, guys, he doesn't care about you. Do you get that?
That's the other thing. This new thing about impeachment that distracted him. Number one, I prefer a president of the United States of America that can multitask. Number one. I expect a little more.
You should be able to deal with high crimes and misdemeanors and run the country.
That you committed. But number two, go and look at his timeline. That's all you have to do. Just go and look and see how many rallies and how many times he played golf during that January and February time period where he was apparently now so distraught over impeachment. That was over in January, but okay.
When we could have been.
Go see how many How many times he played golf?
When
How
we
many
could have been
times?
mobilizing for PPE for all these heroes and
Hoax. It's a hoax.
we could actually have been getting ventilators made and shipped. We could have been doing all of it, and we didn't. Now people say, "Well, he didn't know." Well, that's not true. He did know, and we have an experience of a president, very recent president, who stopped swine flu and he stopped Ebola. And everyone else says H1N1, man. Remember that flu? It killed 120,000. Well, number one, let's give you the facts. It killed 12,000 people. On average, the normal flu kills between 30,000 and 60,000, which means Obama mobilized so fast on that one flu that we actually cut the death rate by 18,000 people.
And that death rate mostly occurred in the second wave, which,
Right.
by the way, guys, we're going to have more waves of this
Possibly three,
particular
Fauci says. Possibly
virus.
three.
Yeah.
Don't we have proof that he was briefed on all this, though?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So, and then we enacted the what's the wartime
Defense Productions
that act
But he won't do that either. He hasn't done that. General Motors said they wouldn't do it. He says so. He's not enforcing it
because it's going to affect
And
the
that means
economy.
here's the fucked up thing about this whole thing, and this is what bothers me because it's not hard. I am not an educated man, but I do understand. I think I have a certain amount of common sense. Maybe not about my own actions, but when it comes to a problem presented to me, or else I wouldn't have been able to do what I do for as long as I have. He's basically said, because here's what FEMA is. Usually, what happens when was a big disaster. Let's say we had a hurricane or a big giant storm that ruined with Hurricane Sandy. The federal government jumped in on Hurricane Sandy, and to the point where Obama actually, we mobilized everybody. We purchased everything they need. The federal government did this and shipped it. That's what we did.
Well, also,
So we saved money.
Yeah.
We didn't burn tax money. This guy won't do that. He's making states, guys. Do you get this? New York is fighting California for personal protective equipment.
we're
They're
outbidding each other.
There's a company, by the way, Hatfield in Texas, Hatfield Emergency Supplies, whatever you. They're charging 6 times. By the way, look up this company and call them and leave a message. Hatfield is charging 6 times as much as they cost for masks. They were about $1 for the N95. They're charging $6 a piece.
Well,
So it went
also-
to have 1 million of them, it was $1 million. Now it's 6 million. Guess what happens? Those states get paid state tax money.
Right.
So your taxes are paying for this company to rape Americans. Understand it. And not just rape Americans, but these medical professionals don't have the PPE now. So they're going to...
supposedly Kushner is now heading up a...
Oh, God. Yeah, good. He did so on the Middle
He's
East.
going to handle the dissemination of PPE.
So those people, these scumbag companies that are actually gouging, they're not gouging the states. You pay for the states. Do you understand? So they're gouging you. And that nurse that's taking care of your grandma that's in the hospital dying from COVID-19, that nurse is now going to get it and not being able to take care of your grandpa. That's what's happening right now. That's who this president is. And that you in Congress can't impeach this son of a bitch, honest to God, trust me, when the votes come down and I'm getting involved in politics. I'm not going to go in politics, but I'm actually calling the people that work with Devin Nunes. I'm going to offer them my writing.
Devin Nunes.
Yeah, whatever. Devin Nunes, the guy who's the worst scumbag, pretty much. Hey, well, there's the level of scumbag right now. in our
The
government
threshold
has
has risen.
The bar has
Yes,
been raised.
yeah.
Just so you know, I'm fired up today because friends and people that have come to my shows are dying. Like friends, people that we've met after the shows are dying of this. We're losing so much people. And 2 people, you medical professionals, that are showing up every day with no personal protection equipment, that are feeling crappy and still helping people with this.
That they have to reuse. They're not supposed to use it between.
You're supposed to use it
The
once.
ER doctor that died yesterday was on week 2 of his mask.
So doctors are dying, nurses are dying.
So finish that thought to all you guys
I
that
want
are
to tell
going
you
and
guys,
doing this.
Yeah, to all you guys that are doing this, that are putting your. We understand that you are firemen going to the fire without fire protection. You are cops walking into a hail of bullets without a gun. We get it. And I cannot tell you, it actually, my aunt's a nurse, and she's retired now, and she may go back because of what this is going on. And I don't want her to die. And that you guys are stepping up every day and doing this, it's pretty amazing. And to you soldiers on that ship, man, your captain was trying to help you, and I can't. It's funny. I don't know President Trump, but I would like to apologize for what a shitty job this guy's doing.
Also, a major shout out to all of the essential workers who get
Oh
treated
my
like
God.
crap, and suddenly now they're essential and being forced to go to work or
Right.
else. Yeah. So,
Everybody-
because
right.
if you quit, you can't get unemployment. And I've gotten more messages about you think you normally get treated like crap in this job. People are nuts right now. And if you have to tell them that you're out of something, grocery store workers, janitorial people that still have to go to work, delivery drivers, all of you guys, thank you so much. Because honestly, if you weren't delivering, we wouldn't eat.
Right. That's the thing is that we forget that these people, the FedEx guy, the person that when
UPS,
you walk
yeah.
into Whole Foods or Ralph's and you go to buy something and there's someone behind the counter. Now, just so you know, those people are behind the counter and everybody's going past them.
Yes.
So they're meeting 1,000 people
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a percentage of those has COVID, and
A lot
still,
of them aren't being given the proper stuff to wear because
we send it to the hospitals.
Exactly.
So this is such a major fuck up that people don't even understand how big a mistake this was. That this guy killed his inaction. And by the way, if you say it wasn't his fault, well, we actually have two different models. We actually have the China model where they shut it down, and we have the South Korea model. And the South Korea model isn't the China model because the China model's got a communist country and they're going to lie. South Korea shut it down, didn't shut down their economy.
Yeah.
So we have an idiot who golfed and had rallies instead of protecting the American people.
Downplaying it should be considered a criminal.
It's criminal.
action.
It's criminal.
It should have been like, we're on high alert. This is America.
Yeah.
We have a lot of
They
travel
did it.
in and out.
Sorry I got so serious. I did a thing with Richard Marx, and I said, again, I'd like to do it. Could you riff a speech to the American people
It's
right
called
now?
Social Isolation with Richard Marx, right?
Yeah.
He's doing a show.
Social distance.
Social
distancing.
distance with
Distancing.
Richard Marx.
It's coming out. But could you
With
do
Christopher
look
Marx.
into the camera and do a quick speech to the
I don't
American
know why
people?
you keep making
Because it's
people
easy.
do this.
Because
It
it's
is
easy.
easy. Yes, we all know, but I
But
don't want
it's
to talk
not.
about him anymore.
All right, good, we're
Not
done.
Richard Marx, Donald Trump.
Richard
he
Marx is
could talk
awesome.
about Richard Marx all day long.
Just his hair. I could do an
He
hour on his
said
hair.
yesterday, what did you say Richard Marx is doing? You said he's doing something, so you were going to do it. And I said, well, if Richard Marx were going to jump off a bridge, would you do that too?
And I
you
said, probably.
That was an exchange we had in the car on the way home, probably. And I just thought, that's valid. That's true. All right.
Sorry, guys, so serious. Thank you, guys. All you people that are out there every day still working while we're locked in our houses that are keeping society moving. You are the grease in the wheel, and we cannot tell you how much we
Literally,
appreciate
while
it.
we're sitting here,
Thank you.
groceries just got delivered to our house. I just got notification. And they're so busy that I have to sit on my computer all day and watch for times to open up. And if you don't grab it right then, that's how busy these people are. And people tip them. Tip everyone everywhere you go if they're doing, because a lot of them aren't getting paid any extra, aren't being given any extra protection.
No hazard
Be
pay.
kind. That's the only way we're going to get through this. I know top-down management, everybody wants to tear each other apart, but just be kind to each other. It's a tough time for everyone. And also, one other thing, you might feel alone right now. You might feel like you start to feel like you're the only person. Like we lost our jobs. We lost all of our income.
Yeah, I looked at the bank account
and it
last night,
keeps getting
and I panicked.
extended.
And I panicked.
Especially for entertainers, it keeps, now we're canceling through the summer. Now and so we all, regardless of income level, your bills just go up when your income goes up and when you have an ex-wife. And so, for example, and so I'm just saying you're not in this alone. I know a lot of people, this is tough. Me personally, I love to be alone.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, I've been practicing social distancing my whole life.
Yes, you have.
And thank you.
Since we've been married.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. I mean, that just upped the ante for me. I'm in the house like... And so to you guys, anybody, if you need help, you can still reach out for help because those people are essential workers. There's a mental health crisis hotline, domestic or child abuse, domestic violence hotline, and also a suicide hotline. If you guys are feeling down in any way or having any kind of those thoughts, those people are still there to answer your calls. Highlander's going to throw that screen up really quick.
It's up right now, guys. Call one of these three numbers. Listen, we're all going through it right now. That's the thing you got to remember. I know it feels like you.
Yes.
And it feels like, by the way, even I feel like it's just me. There's no one else.
Yeah.
No. And it's weird. There is a very tiny bit of like, we're all in this together that gives you a little bit of peace.
Yeah.
I would like to thank the banks and the mortgage companies that are kind of holding everything off for a little bit. I would like to thank everybody that is actually saying, don't worry about it for a month or two. We'll get through this. That's the only way we survive this is together. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, and I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're for Bernie. I don't care if you're for Biden, and I don't care if you're for Trump. The only way this works is we put that aside and get through it together. Call these numbers if you need it, if you need the help. Or you can also email me. I look at my email every night. Go to ChristopherTitus.com, email me. I've had a couple of talks with people where they were like, oh, dude, thanks.
And we're going to be calling some people that listen to the podcast.
Next week, yes. We're going to call some people. We might do a couple. We might do
surprise
a
ambush
2 or 3 of these
because a
next
lot
week.
of people nominated other people, and that was one of the coolest things. Was so many people said, "I'd love a call, but so and so needs it more." And so we're getting numbers. We're going to be ambush calling people next week. If you need to pick me up,
So
hit
be
us
right
up
here.
on our
You'll be able
Facebook
to watch
pages.
us talking to people and what they're going through. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the Titus podcast. Watch us. Please subscribe. We're going to keep doing this. If I got a little amped up today, I'm angry. We're losing people, and I don't like it. It didn't need to happen, and it's happening. So now all we can do now is do our best to get through it. But thanks for watching and listening. For myself, Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one.
Yes, there is. There is only
Is
one.
that his intro and outro?
Yeah, there can be only one.
It's like Ola or like, what's the other? It's like
Aloha.
Aloha.
It's his aloha.
He should meet everybody like that. Just walk up and just go, there can be only one.
And I just, I modulate it depending on
Because
who's.
the people that accepted that as a greeting, those are your friends.
Yeah, you get it.
You're weird enough
Right.
to be my friend now.
You
All
get
right.
me.